back to Vlogmas and welcome back to Wales. It's lovely to have you here. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a good day. And I hope you enjoyed my video yesterday. I don't know what came over me yesterday. I just got the giggles. I couldn't resist the flipping snowman and the crayons. Oh gosh, I hope I'm a bit calmer today for you anyway. And the lovely Maria, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry I had you in so many stitches yesterday. Your little video footage was fabulous. Maria sent me some footage of her giggling at me while I was laughing on the internet. It was really funny. But yeah, it's lovely to have you here. It's the first day of Vlogmas. Yay! And I've got my Vlogmas top on. Last year I made this out of my art yarn and I thought I'd put it on and put it to a road test and start looking a bit more Christmassy. Yeah, I've got everything ready. I've got my tree up behind me. I've actually got the tree ready now in the shed with the baubles on. And I realised, you know, I haven't done what I wanted to do. So we've got 2 baubles extra. So at some point, we're going to open 2 baubles. I'll probably do that at the beginning and the end. And then we'll put that in the weaving at the beginning and the end. In this video today, there's lots planned. I'm going to show you my new advent calendar in a minute. And yeah, we're going to go and up the shed and we're going to go and have a look at the baubles and see them on the tree. I've finished dressing the shed now. It's got lots of lovely twinkly lights in there and tinsel, and I had the fire on in there this morning while I was putting the baubles on the tree. I'm pretty much organised. I haven't done all the add-ins yet, but I've done today and tomorrow and the day after, so that's that. Keeping my jars out. I may as well explain to you what I'm going to do right now. What I'm going to do this year is something completely different than what I did last year. Last year, I don't know whether any of you remember, but we did the baubles on this tree last year and I spun an advent yarn. Now the lovely Maria bought some and it gone on its lovely little merry way off to Australia. Well, some of it has. Some of it's still for sale in my Ko-fi shop if you want any. It's in the description bar below. And yeah, if you watch some of my previous videos, I have shown you what's going into my shop on Ko-fi. So there's still a few bits and bobs left in there if you want to have a look in my Ko-fi shop. As I say, the link's in the description bar. But this year, I've decided to do a weave, and I've decided to weave a scarf using scrap yarns, bulky yarns, thin yarns, mohair, sheep locks, buttons, beads, bells, whatever I think I want to put in that day is what's going to go into the scarf. So this year, I'll just show you my advent calendar. This is the advent calendar that we've got this year. I decided to get rid of the box. I decided to get rid of the box. And we've got a proper advent calendar this year, which I'll show you some footage in a bit. And we've got our tree up in the shed and we've got bigger baubles this year so I can pack more stuff in. Because with weaving, I want to make sure I've got enough to get to the end of the yarn. Now it is going to be random. I am just going to take the baubles off the tree like we did last year. But there is a little bit of a method in my madness with the scarf. I want it the same at the beginning and the end. So tomorrow when we start the weaving, because today was obviously we're going to have to warp up the loom, so that's our first thing to do today. And then tomorrow we will start doing the actual weaving and put in the add-ins. Now I want it the same at the beginning and the end, so tomorrow and the 23rd will be the same. So we can change things around a little bit. I'll probably have things left over out of each of the baubles. But what I'm going to do is I am going to put locks in the bags and a couple of extra little add-ins, but I'm not going to add too much because you don't want loads of stuff in a scarf. You want to be able to wear it and you don't want it to look stupid. So we're not going to do add-ins every day, but I'm going to keep my boxes handy. And I've got my jars here with my beads and my buttons and things like that in. And I'm going to have them to hand. And if while I'm weaving I think, oh, I'll add that, oh, I'll add that, then that's how it's going to work this year. But also, we're not just going to have weaving in Vlogmas because I think that's going to be really boring for 24 days. It is for me anyway, just doing weaving and not doing anything else. So we're going to do something different every day. And the reason for the advent calendar is not so much for the add-ins, because they're going to be neither here nor there, but it's going to be to reveal in the advent calendar what we're going to do different every day. So there's going to be recipes, there's going to be handmade stuff, we're going to go out looking for things in the wild and making stuff from things that we find outdoors. Yeah, we're just going to have a lot of fun. We're going to make garlands, we're going to make gifts for people for Christmas. We're going to recycle things and make them into gifts for people for Christmas. So we're just going to have a load of fun. I'm going to get my Christmas makes done, and you're going to get some ideas of making things for people for Christmas. We're also going to have some recipes that you can join in with as well. And that's going to run alongside my other channel, my Wildwood Cottage Diary channel, and that's in the link in the description bar below as well. So if you want more Christmas recipes and housey stuff for the run up to Christmas, pop over there, have a look and see what's going on over there. So yeah, that's my plans for December for Vlogmas. I've got cushions to make for my furniture in here. The chair that I'm sitting on, it needs a cushion cover. The one next to me needs a cushion cover, and the big church pew needs a cushion cover as well. So I am going to be absolutely manic. So yeah, they're my plans for Christmas and my plans for Vlogmas. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. But as I say, today we're just going to warp the loom. I don't really want to start the weaving because the warping the loom takes a long time, and I will do that as a standalone video for you as well, so you can see it in more detail, the techniques and the things that I do, because otherwise this video is going to go on for hours and we'll never get anything done. So yeah, that's my plans for today. So we're going to go down the shed and have a look down there. We're going to have a look at the advent calendar. I've taken my first number out, and as you saw, it's weaving today. It's warping the loom. So we're going to get my big box of yarns out and we're going to have a look through there. And yeah, that's going to be what we do today. So I'm going to sign off. You're going to see past Hazel, because past Hazel has already warped up the loom. And I did that last night. So yeah, you're going to see me warping up the loom. And then tomorrow, Saturday, day 2, we will get on with the weaving. So I hope you're going to enjoy my video. And present Hazel, we'll see you at the end. Right, okay, so we're back in the kitchen. Well, in the space where I do some recording by the fire, because it's nice and warm here. And I'm just getting the stuff ready for warping up the loom. And I thought we'd do that together as part of day 1. As you know, I've been completely disorganised this year. I'm just getting the bits out of my little bag of goodies. This way, just where I keep all my bits and bobs. But yeah, I thought that I'd just get myself organised and get the loom warped up, and then we'll go back up to the shed and we'll open the baubles and get on with the weaving. So I thought that was all that we'd do today, really, is I'll show you warping up the loom. I won't show you everything, but I'll show you the basics so you know how to warp up a loom. Because if you're thinking of buying a weaving loom for Christmas, yeah, I'll take them off. If you're thinking of buying a weaving loom for Christmas, then this will be a good way for you to see how you use it, see what you can do with it, and generally just get on and get some weaving done. Because to be honest with you, it's not hard. It sounds complicated when you say warping up the loom, this is the weft, this is the warp, all those sorts of technical terms. They can sound a little bit intimidating, but don't be intimidated by them. They're not really. They're really simple terms to understand. And I am going to do, I think, as part of Vlogmas, I'll probably do it next Sunday, but I am going to do a video about the different types of looms that I've got, what each one does, what you can use each one for, and then you can decide if you want an introduction to weaving, the type of loom that you can use, the price brackets of them, and how easy they are to use. You can basically get weaving with a piece of cardboard, and I'm going to show you that as well during Vlogmas. So yeah, you can pretty much get weaving with anything. So that's what I thought that we'd do today. So I've got 2 different heddles. I have got 3 for this loom, but I can't find the other one. So I've brought 2 along to show you. This one is for weaving cloth and tight weaves. If you want to weave scarves and nice fine weave scarves, you would use this kind of heddle. This is called a heddle. This is where your threads go through, and you move this backwards and forwards, and that pushes the threads up and makes them all nice and compact. And this one is what I would call an art yarn heddle. There's not many teeth in comparison to that one. And I'm going to use this one because I want it nice and loose, nice and open. I want to use nice big bulky yarns. And it's going to be a really nice open flowy scarf rather than a tightly woven scarf where all the fibres are sort of all stuck together. I brought something along to show you. This is the last thing I did. And as you can see, it's all tightly woven together into a cloth. This is a cloth. I'm going to make a cowl with this, I think, either a cowl or a bag. I haven't decided yet. But this is the kind of thing you can do and the kind of thing we're going to do. We're going to put locks in, we're going to put flowers in, we're going to put beads in, we're going to put buttons in, we're going to throw in loads of stuff that we can find and make it a really nice jazzy scarf. So as I say, this is the last thing I wove. We're not going to do one of these. We're going to do something that is nice and open. This has a space for 25 threads. And I think that'll probably be enough, you know. If it's not, if I look at it and I think, oh, that's not enough, I can always double up some of the threads through the holes and make it a little bit thicker. But this is my weaving loom, this here. This is called an Ashford Sampleat loom. You may have seen the knitters' looms, and they have a little dial at the side so you can fold them up and fold them flat. But this is a fixed rigid heddle loom. It doesn't fold at all. And it's specifically for weaving scarves, really, and small items, like samples of things rather than a full-blown project. So I love this loom. I've used it quite a few times. I make gifts on it for people. I've made scarves on it for people. So it's a lovely little loom to use, but I'll discuss it more in detail when I do my weaving my loom video. And I'll root out my different looms and we'll have a look at them, and then you can see what you want for Christmas. But yeah, last year I did spinning wheels, so if you're interested in buying a spinning wheel, I'll put something in the I button for you, somewhere around here, and you can have a look and see at the spinning wheel videos that I've got. So I'm going to set this up on the table, we'll do the warp together. Basically all that means is you're going to thread up the loom, get it ready for weaving, and we'll get making on our first row and see what turns up and see what we can do with it, shall we? So I'll just take you over to the table and I'll show you what I'm going to be using. I'm going to use my dining table. It's about 6 foot long, and I think that'll be plenty for a scarf. So once it's all warped up, then it'll be 6 foot long and 10 inches wide, hopefully. So just put you on the table and you can see what I'm doing. Right, so this is my loom, and I like to set this up at this end of the table. So this is the front of the loom here. This is the front, and that's going to be nearest the kitchen. This is the back, and that's going to be down there. Now the reason I do this is because you're going to put all the threads on the back of the loom, and you're going to wind it on as you weave onto the front of the loom. So I want the bulk of the threads to be that end of the table, which is the furthest away. So they're all going to be down that end of the table, and I'm going to tie it on first at this end of the table, just so that makes sense. Now this is called a warping peg, and this is called a clamp. And what happens is that now will go down the end of the table. Right, so there's our warping peg on the end of the table. Sorry about the light. So there's our warping peg. This is our threading hook, and that goes through the holes on the heddle. Right, so I'm going to set you up down this end of the table, on that table there, and hopefully you'll be able to watch what I'm doing. That goes on there. When it wants to go on there, that is. I'm not going to do anything fancy for a minute. I'm just going to tie it in a loose knot on the bottom, and we'll tighten them all later. I've wound it all up onto the loom, just needs threading, and then we're ready to go. I put it on the wrong way round as usual. For some reason it makes sense in my head, but it doesn't work in theory. Right, okay. So these are the colours we've used, so I'm going to keep them handy. There's going to be some in the baubles. I thought I'd warp it the day before, and then we could just get stuck into Vlogmas. A lot easier. So if I put together everything I put in, we'll have a nice selection of the yarns we've got on. Take the end, snip. Make sure it's not twisted. Take one through, and then you want to take one through the hole. Then I took my cup of hot chocolate with it, like that. You want to leave that just on the end for a minute. And you want to do that with every thread. You want to take them through. You take one through the hole and one through the slot. So you leave one in the slot, take your other one, poke your hook through, catch your yarn on, pull it through the hole. And that is it. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing to do your ends. Making sure they're not twisted back here, so that when you pull it through, you haven't got it twisted. So I'm doing the back of the loom. I'm going to take my two pieces, because some of it I've doubled because it's quite thin. Make sure if you've done that, that you remember to pull the two pieces through and not one. So I'm going to speed this up, let you see me finish it off, and then we'll get down to weaving. So we've got all our threads done. They're all cut, all snipped at the ends. So what we're going to do now is we're going to tie them onto here. Now you get a little bar here, and I like to tie them on there first. So get yourself a little group. I've got about 4. Wrap it over. And then I like to split them and wrap it round, bring it through the middle of the threads. Maybe you can see that. Bring it through the middle, and then tie it in a knot. And you'll do that for each one. So I've done the end. Now I'm going to do the middle. You want to work your way out. I'm going to do this end actually, I think. And then I'll do the middle. I should have started at the middle because I'm rushing. Bring it through. Split. Okay. So that's your first ones. Right, then we'll do the middle. Make sure it's... You can always loosen them and try them, do them again if they're a bit tight. That feels a bit tight on that side. Yeah, better. You don't want them too tight, don't want them too loose, so try and get them in the middle if you can. So I'm going to take them too. This is going to be my middle. Now, I've got 3 in the middle one. Pull it round. Going over the beam, not under, and then round your threads. You can grab your bar then and you can pull it till you get the tension just right. Here we are. And then this one, do 3 together. Over the bar again. Round the back, tie it round the front, and then that means all your knots are at the front and it's easier. sure all your threads are all nice and lined up as you do it. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll wind it all on the back, and then I'll do the front. But I won't show you that. This is going to make the video far too long, and it's only supposed to be a vlog. If I think about it, I'll do it as a standalone video for you in case you are getting a loom for Christmas. Then you can go back and watch it again, can't you? Now I've got them twisted there, so start again with that one. More fingers and thumbs today because I've got 2 cuts, 1 on each hand. On the fingers I need for me job for this as well. Because the yarn's quite stretchy, you want to make sure you've pulled it and then let it loose before you tie your knot. It's the easiest way. Right. Okay. I haven't got any paper, but what I normally like to do is put paper when I wrap it on. But it's only going to be 6 foot, so it's not going to be massive. So there you go. There it is, all done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to release the brake there, and we're just going to wind. Make sure I've got the right way round, and periodically wind it back in the opposite direction, and then carry on. So you want to get a nice even tension on it. There you go. Pull it tight. Right, ready to do the front now. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to start the tea, get that done, and when we come back tomorrow, we'll be ready to weave. Right, I've got the front of the loom, that's the back of the loom. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to weave some threads in. And all this is going to do is make everything straight here. I'm just going to start about there, I think. You're not going to pack it, you're just going to pull it through. And that's just going to stretch out the wool. Make it all nice and even across there. And you can take that out at the end. But if you use the same yarn as what you're using, you can leave it in if you want. There, go and put the lights on for my husband so we can see to come home. So I'm just going to do that a few times and then I'm going to wind it on a bit and then we're ready. Right, welcome back to present, Hazel. Vlogmas day 1. That's just the way it goes around here. It's complete chaos, you know. If you're new here and you've never been here before, I'm a bit nutty, I'm a bit crazy. I don't drink coffee, so you can't say it's caffeine. I am just naturally a little bit nutty. And lately, my camera's become my best friend, and it's like hanging out with my best friend and just having a good giggle with myself. So I can laugh at myself these days, which makes things more interesting. Don't they, Maria? Anywho, if you want to see all my giggling and all my mayhem, have a look back at the last 2 vlogs, pre-Vlogmas, day 1, day 2. We had a hoot, we had a ball, and there was no alcohol involved. So yeah, I'm just a bit crazy, but there you go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed warping the loom. And yeah, it's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. So yeah, that's it for me for today. Hope you enjoyed my video. If you have, do like and subscribe. Do hit that bell. That'll keep you up to date with my new videos. And do join me every day in the run up to Christmas. We will be here till Christmas Eve. and possibly Christmas Day and in between to New Year. Depends on how I feel, how exhausted I am after doing every day between today and Christmas Eve. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll be back in the shed tomorrow for day 2. Bye.